Understanding the phrase, pass the buck. A guide for English learners. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English language learning series. Today, we're going to explore a very interesting English phrase, pass the buck. This phrase is commonly used in everyday conversations, and understanding it can really help you in grasping the nuances of the English language. So, let's dive in and find out what it means to pass the buck. The phrase, pass the buck, has a fascinating origin. It comes from the game of poker, where a marker, known as a buck, was used to indicate the person responsible for dealing the cards. If a player didn't want to deal, they could pass the buck to the next player. Over time, this phrase took on a broader meaning in everyday language. Today, it refers to shifting responsibility or blame from oneself to someone else. It's often used in situations where there is an attempt to avoid taking responsibility for actions or decisions. To better understand, pass the buck, let's look at some examples. 1. In the workplace, if a manager makes a mistake but blames their team instead of accepting responsibility, they are passing the buck. 2. In politics, a politician who blames previous administrations for current problems instead of addressing them is also passing the buck. 3. In personal relationships, if someone blames their friend for their own failure to keep a promise, they are passing the buck. These examples show how the phrase can be applied in various contexts, making it a versatile part of conversational English. It's important to use pass the buck appropriately. Here are some tips. Context matters. Use it in contexts where someone is avoiding responsibility. Tone of voice. It's often used in a critical or disapproving manner. Not for formal situations. It's more suited for informal conversations or discussions. Understanding these nuances will help you use the phrase effectively in your conversations. I hope this video has helped you understand what it means to pass the buck in English. Remember, language is not just about words. It's about culture, history, and the way people interact with each other. Stay curious, keep learning, and don't forget to practice using new phrases in your conversations. See you in the next video.